What's going on, guys? Stock Jock here. $323 on the day. Kind of an up and down day, and I'm thinking about just stopping it right here. It's 3 o'clock. This is power hour, but again, I've been red today and I've been decently green, and now I'm kind of just green. All right, so MRNS was my first trade of the day. This stock was up on phase two preliminary data, which is just whatever. I thought maybe you get a pop out of the open and then it would sell off and fade into this gap, hopefully hitting maybe 120. That's kind of what my goal was. So we had this pop, came back up, and popped back up into here. And as it was coming back down for the candle under candle, I went short thinking we would break this low right here, and that's not what happened. Um, I went short at 151, got a bad fill, which is basically the bottom here, and it just went from there. I covered as we were breaking high a day. Basically lost 20 cents on the trade. Basically a loss of $425 to start my day. Not how I like to trade out of the open, but I didn't know how high this was going to go. You could certainly see resistance at 275 over here, but I'm not wanting to hold it a whole dollar to find out if it'll get to that resistance. So I just cut it loose and was trying to find other things. Sure enough, it's faded, and now we're down at 146, so I would have made maybe 5 cents on it if I would have held it all day long. But definitely the stock didn't do what I thought it was going to do. I was looking for this break right here, and I cut it loose. I'm not going to hold the stock a whole dollar to try to find the next resistance level. Just it didn't do what I thought it was going to do, so my plan's broken. Cut it, move on. So SSYS was my next trade. This was just a pure news play that I heard on my news feed. As you can see, it's just on a downtrend, and then all of a sudden this news, I don't even know what it was right now, I can't even remember, but it was positive, and I traded it as such. I got in at 10.53 trying to just get a quick pop, and I sold at basically, I'm not 10.53, 19.53, and I sold at 1960-ish, somewhere right in here, and it came back all the way back down. So that scalp was the quick play, the right play too. But it was nice to have a win under my belt after this, 20-cent loss that I had. But at this point, I'm still down on the day. So DCIX was my next trade. This is one that I've been trying. This is a shipping company that I've been trying to play in sympathy to whenever GLBS starts running. GLBS started running, broke high a day at 11 o'clock a.m. this morning. So I immediately went over to DCIX, and you can kind of see the same thing here. Volume coming in 15,000, 23,000, and 18,000 shares all in 3 minutes. So I went long at 315, and I sold inside this spike. If GLBS was running, I was hoping to see this thing start cranking too, and just didn't happen. So took my quick win of basically 6 cents and let it go, moved on. So MIXT, this one was a stock that I believe I was just playing, the chart here. It was starting to hit my high day scanner, had this nice pop up consolidation. It touched the 20-day moving, or what is this? Yeah, the 20-day moving average. And then we're kind of going candle over candle, and that's kind of where you can see where I tried to buy in as it was breaking this candle right here. And I only got 1,100 shares. Quick pop, went all the way to 910. It was just low volume, so I didn't want to really hold this to see what could happen. Just not a lot of volume came in. Um, so I sold it as soon as I could at $7 and basically 11 cents for a 7-cent win, 70 bucks. All right, NK was a pure news play as well. You can see, not a lot of going on here, and then boom, big volume coming in, huge spike. This was a company that's doing a first clinical test with a synthetic, what is it? A natural cell killer that's supposed to go after cancer cells, whatever. FDA has authorized the company's investigational new drug application. It's first in human high affinity natural killer cell therapy phase 1 clinical study, blah, blah, blah. it just had a catchy headline. It had the word cancer in it, anything going after cancer. It's still phase one, but it was enough to get this thing moving for sure. Uh, and it is an 82 million share float stock, so I was actually surprised that we got this kind of a move. So as soon as I heard that, I heard the headline, came over here. I actually bought 4,000 shares, and I sold into this initial spike here at basically 630, 631, and that got me green on the day off of this news play. And I should have maybe held 1,000 shares, sell 3,000, hold an extra 1,000 just to see what it could do. Um, I mean, we went as high as 674, and before it's, as you can kind of see right here on the daily, it's hitting this level right here, and it's kind of getting rejected every time I got up there. And you'll see later on, I tried to play for the break of this level, and it just rejected it pretty hard and came back down. So this might be a level to watch in the next few days to see if it can kind of break the 675 level and maybe move up towards the 200-day moving average up here. But as of right now, it's acting as some pretty legit resistance. URRE, I didn't make any money on this trade, but this trade was just going high of day. One of the moderators in one of the chat rooms that I'm in said URRE looks good. I think it needs another day to maybe get a curl here. So maybe tomorrow, if we can break today's high, it would be a good play. But I knew that this particular mod, if he says something, everybody in the chat room is going to buy it. So that's kind of what happened. I only made a penny on it out of a quick pop. Let's see, right here you can kind of see the moderator mentioned it, and freaking 156,000 shares got traded all in that minute. So it also was kind of moving high a day here, blah, blah, blah. But, that's the power of the chat rooms, man. They can create momentum. So I basically was break even after commissions, but it just goes to show you that these chat rooms are legit. They can move markets. So Walmart, this one was a play that I heard on my news feed that they're teaming up with like AutoNation to sell cars. So that sounds amazing for profits. So Walmart selling cars. So I saw AutoNation taking off, AN, ticker symbol AN. I'm like, okay, well, let's come over here to Walmart and just, it hadn't moved yet. As you can see right here, this is kind of the time frame I heard it. It hadn't moved yet. Got a small little pop, but just no volumes coming in. So I took a 2,000 shares just to see if maybe I could get in early and just hang around and see if this thing would get going, moving up on the idea that Walmart's going to sell cars. So I held it for a couple minutes. I made 2 cents on it, 40 bucks. It just didn't get going. So cut it loose. At this point, I'm trying to just take quick little wins because, I've been down on the day so far, and now I'm green, so I want to stay green. All right, QCOM. This one was a news headline that I think they made some kind of deal to where the litigation was going to be dropped, whatever. And as you can see, kind of as that news hit, we got a pop here, and it was just a slow mover. And this is a 1 billion share float, so it's going to move slow, even if it's the greatest news in the world. But I thought it'd move a little faster than that, so I got in at 55.31, basically sold break even, loss of half a penny. It just didn't pan out. So I didn't want to hold it any longer than I had to. Again, it's a large cap, and I tend to lose money on large caps, yet I still, for some reason, keep trying to trade them. But cut it loose, moved on. So ENDP, this one you can kind of see right here that we had a huge drop in the price here and the price action as people were dumping shares and shorting. What happened was again, news came out that this company was being taken to federal court and by the FTC, I believe it was. So that's kind of big news. So as soon as that came out, dropped 50 cents, kind of came back up. I got in around 1181, anticipating another, kind of drop here. Let's see what time exactly. I got in right here. So it dropped down, popped back up, and I kind of wanted to catch this next maybe bolt down I was expecting to happen. Took 2,000 shares at 11.81. It dropped down real quick, and I covered at 11.70 for basically 11-cent win. And then it popped back up again, and I was like, okay, well, if you're going to give me the opportunity to short it again, I'll take it. So, but this time, I just don't get these stocks sometimes. It's very negative news, right? So I go short again at 11.77. The sucker hits 12 bucks. It's the exact same price it had when the news first came out. It's just these stupid algorithms, right? So I was up on the day. I had a cushion. I wasn't I wasn't willing to let this thing just go this way on me. But I was thinking, okay, maybe some shorts are getting squeezed. As soon as this thing cracks 12, it's going to come right back down. Well, it hit 12, and then it started coming down this way, and I was already down. I was holding on to this, and I'm like down. At this point of the day, I'm basically up 425 bucks. Well, holding it while it was at $12, I was basically down $425. So I was break even on the day if I would have covered. So I was thinking to myself, okay, I don't want to go red on the day, but break even on the day is fine too. It's just like I didn't work today. So luckily, finally, the stock turned and started heading back down. And as we got close to my entry point, I covered, and I had a feeling we would test low a day. It didn't crack 1150 like people were probably hoping, but I just wanted to get out. So I took the $40 loss and moved on. Happy to get out. So AutoNation, that was the company that the news report said that they were going to team up with Walmart to sell cars. Well, then the report, and this is kind of where you can see that, the news comes out, got this huge spike, basically a buck based off of the news that it's going to sell cars with Walmart. Well, down over here, you can see this other spike down, and that's because Walmart comes out and says it's not true. Okay, so I went short as soon as I heard that at 52.02, and it's a great place to do that because it's a whole dollar break as well. And where is it? Right in here. So we broke 52. I covered 5-cent win, 2,000 shares, $100. Happy to have it. So moved on from there. So NK, this is that stock that had the cancer drug information, whatever, blah blah blah. As you can see, this is that level right here that I'm talking about. Pretty big resistance, but if we were to break it, $7 is definitely in target. Maybe 7.25 somewhere in here. So I was trying to get the stock, thinking it would break this level, and volume was certainly coming in. You can kind of see that level up here. Um, we hit it up here, and I went long as we no, I went long on this one. So as you can see, we tapped it here, consolidation that's higher than the previous consolidation, and then moved back up. Not a lot of volume was coming in though. Let's see, 12,000 shares, 8,000 shares. So it's not a lot of volume. So what we ended up doing, and I went long into this, we double topped, and that's a bearish sign. And as soon as it looked like it was coming back down, I sold. See, I went long at 671, and I sold at 664 for 7-cent loss. So it wasn't the greatest thing in the world. If it would have broken this level, it would have been probably a really good trade. Maybe would have gotten to $7, especially as soon as it starts hitting everybody's high day scanners, and then they come over here and they see what levels it's kind of breaking here on the daily. It would have had potential in my opinion, but it didn't work out. Cut it loose, move on. HMNY. This is my next play. You can kind of see here on the daily, and this might be a good swing candidate in the very near future, especially if you can get it back down here. Recently, it's been hitting the 50-day moving average, coming back down, hitting the 50, coming back down, hitting the 50, coming back down, hitting the 50, coming back down, hitting the 20, coming back down, 20, then 50, coming back down. Today, we broke the 50 by a good bit, not just like 20 cents. This was a good 70 cents that we broke it, which is starting to tell you that maybe this has finally found a bottom here, and we're going to get a move back up. So I went long thinking we had this nice spike here, nice volume coming in, hit the VWAP, came back up, consolidate, and I was thinking, all right, here we go. I was going to play for the break of 480 and then maybe to move to 5 and then break 5. Well, it didn't happen. I got in at 475 in anticipation of the break of 480, and it just hit that level and just rejected it. So I sold as it was coming back down, 467 right in here. It could have just gone this way, and we did eventually get past that, but again, it hit that $5 level and then sold hard. And right now, as you can see, it was the wise decision to sell because, we're down near $4 again. So again, definitely one to watch on the radar, maybe tomorrow after all the selling's done. But it has a habit of, hitting these levels recently. So it's definitely one I'll be watching as just maybe a scalp play. ENDP was my last trade. This one was basically a press release from the company saying that they are getting all their charges dropped against them because they made a deal, blah, blah, blah. And so you can see that right here. This is that news that came in right here. So as soon as I heard that, I went long at 11.91 and I sold very quickly because at this time I'm only up at 120 bucks on the day before I made this trade. So I was like, oh, geez, I need to just take my quick win. It did get up to 219. Where is it at now? Or 1219. So I didn't miss out on too much of a move, but as you can see, the stock's been just trampled recently. So there's a lot of people probably trapped in here, and you might see resistance as it's trying to hit these levels. But 11-cent win brings me to 323 on the day. Right now, I might be watching GLBS as we talk. There it is. Normally, the stock is tanking towards the end of the day, but right now we're getting kind of movements up. So definitely one to watch as we go into the close. If you have any questions, find me on Google Hangouts at stockjockat@gmail.com, or you can find me on StockTwits at StockJockAT. All right, I'll see you in the next video.